you. Uh, Welcome to Plan B from Nummela. We are having some technical difficulties. Our original streaming site has stopped servicing, so we are doing the stream via YouTube. I think but my computer is not good enough to stream along the YouTube, so we are having a stream of the stream or something like that. Not sure our Arnimetsa has done his magic. So the problem is that I can't see the stream myself, so if you are having any difficulties or the stream is bad or something funny is going on, just say it in the chat so we can do something about it. Today we're going to play, or at least I thought we were going to play PLO50, but the problem is that the games are really sort of bad. I can show you the lobby we have here. Like on every table with floor percentage of around 40, there's at least 4, 5, 6, 7 people in waitings, and these are all regulars. So this table is good, but when we get there, there's 6 regulars on the table. So I'm going to these. Oh, I'm not. I'm trying to find a spot in these sort of bad tables and see if they turn out to be good ones. But if they don't get better, we have the option to go either PLO50 Zoom or to PLO25. And in PLO50 Zoom, the average floor percentage is 23. So we are not going to there. So this is something that we have faced, I think, once before, that the games are just bad. But we now have 5 tables open, so let's start with these ones and see where we go. Other than that, welcome to Poker Imania's PLO night with me, Kyyberi. I opened 6 tables. At least I thought I did, but I didn't. Wow. Welcome to PLO night. We have online chat in here on your right side. If you are a member of Poker Imania, you can join the chat and talk with me in pretty much real time. We have a delay on the stream for security and technical reasons. So if we are going to play Zoom, it's going to be, I don't like to play Zoom. The floor percentage is around 25 on every Zoom table. I know that people just love Zoom, but I don't understand why people love Zoom. Pretty much every time when someone says that what kind of videos you want to see on any poker site, people want to see Zoom videos. Play Zoom, how to beat Zoom. If you go to 2+2 forums, and I have the link, probably it's in the Finnish forum. I don't know if I posted it to the English forum. I'm going to find the link to post to the chat right now. There's a link to the 2+2 thread about, it's a rate analysis between PLO and no limit hold'em Zooms, but it shows that in PLO25 Zoom and even in PLO50 Zoom, the members who play the most hands are playing break even after the rake back. So it means that the regulars who play most Zoom don't win any money. So I think it's pretty hard to make money out of Zoom when you compare to normal tables. On table 1, I barreled the river because if he has 2 pairs, I want him to fold, but he raises me, which is pretty strange, but he's a shorty, he might be slow playing ace queen, so I'm just going to fold. On table 4, I take a free turn card, and now he checks, so I'm pretty happy to make a D8 bet on the turn, and although I can't really represent the king, he shouldn't have a hand that he can call me with. Oops. My mouse isn't working. I made a small bet on table 1, and the turn is the worst card in the deck, pretty much. But he bet so small that I pretty much get odds, and he often doesn't have a straight or flush. But if he bets the river, I'm going to fold, and he checks. He had a 3 high flush. But I don't think he would have folded the river, so I have the implied odds. I'm trying to find the link. It's in here. There it is, and ba-boom, ba-boom. And I'm putting it in the chat now. So that's the link to the 2+2 blue, hard to say, 2+2 forums. So it definitely worth to check out and see how much is the average win rate in PLO Zooms on various rates. Like in PLO25, even the platinum members are playing break even after the railback. So before any railback, they are losing money. And when you think about it, where does the money come in PLO? It doesn't come from regulars. The money comes from passive calling stations. Those are the ones who really give you the money. And if the average VPIP in Zoom is 25, it means that a lot of times you're playing with regulars or playing with the side opponents. So it should be easy to figure out that you are not making a lot of money in Zoom. But Zoom is easy. You don't have to wait. You don't have to find tables. You don't have to wait your opponents to make decisions when you are not in the hand. You can just sit in, and after 2 seconds, you are ready to play. Kauri says that stream doesn't work normally. I don't know why. If anyone else has problems with the stream, just say Kauri has had problems with pretty much on any platform we are streaming. He always has problems. So if anyone else has problems, just say it. Here the Finnish opens. My hand is pretty bad, but I'm going to call. And he makes a big C, but I don't know. I don't have any information on him. But I think I can make a raise here. And pretty much if he doesn't have an ace, it's hard for him to call. And even if he has an ace, it's not a great spot for him. But now when he raises, he probably has 2 aces himself or something similar. But I paid 550 to create a dynamic where I raise fold the flop. It means that when I do it with my value hands, he doesn't give me any respect. So I'm probably going to get my money back sooner or later. On table 1, I thought about raising on the flop, but I have 2 backdoor flush draws and some backdoor straight draws, so I decided to just call the flop and see what he does on the turn. On that flop, I'm opening the repair window. Often when he has a hand, it's going to be overpair or a top pair type of hand because I block the tens. And even with just one jack, I block some of the straight draws. So he doesn't have a hand that can call my raise, but the other option is to, in position, just call and see what he does on the turn, which means that in the future, I can use that as my advantage. Table 3, I bet the flop with total air, he calls. I actually get top pair on the turn, so I'm going to make a really thin value bet and hope he folds some of his hands. But I get lucky and I get top 2 on the river. No reason for not to bet against VPIP 57. If he has overpair with the flush draw, he's going to call me so often. And we have this Richard, non-regular on a lot of tables. Chicharito, tight regular on many tables. We have the tight German regular on many tables. So a shorty 3 bets. The only problem is the other shorty, but if I hit any 2 pairs, I often have the best equity on the flop. So I don't think I can ever fold this double suited hand. And he's 3 betting 10, 8, 3, 3. Wow. With the short stack. Probably just trying to flip and see if he can double up. I'm going to give him an aggressive note so far. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Risk something. Yes, it's a lucky stream. Remember, you have to change the quality on YouTube. I suppose that the default quality is pretty bad, so change it to, as Animator says, you have to choose 1080 quality or something. Table 3, Richard is raising again. Okay, welcome back. Did the stream stop meanwhile? Probably yes. So here we had actually an interesting hand. I'm going to talk about it if I have time. Oh, what to do on table 2? I could 4-bet. I could 11. It's bottom is going to be 33 or 22. I'm just going to call. If his 3-bet would be bigger, I think I could have shoved. And damn, if that 7 was 8, I would shove here. Check shove with overpair and cut shot. But now I think I can happily bet and get called with any overpair often. Somehow I just don't believe that's such a quick potting, and oh man, he should need to have some kind of 5-3, 5-4 And why would he pot here? Or he just could be shoving because he has a hand, but he's really aggressive and he made the pot bet so when he didn't even think how much to bet. So I'm going to make an $18 hero call. And he had a 7 down. So he happened to hit the pretty jackpot on the turn. Sucks. So the table 2 is pretty bad. We have 5 really tight players here. But as we don't really have options, let's keep these tables. I'm going to put myself on some of the waiting lists. So the hand I was talking about is here on the replay screen. We see a free flop and we flop middle pair. Middle pair and the cut shot, and this is really aggressive player. I think his range is pretty wide. So I call the flop. I have some in my hand, and like on this turn, I'm going to turn my hand into a bluff often. Like now, I'm just donking and making believe I have a flush, and if he calls, I think that I'm going to remove this table and put this one on the back. And on the hand that I took away, I actually had a flush versus flush, and we lost a decent pot there. So much going on. I'm just going to close some of the bad tables and mark some of the players. So the hand on the replayer, my plan was if I don't improve my hand on the river, I would fire again. Because when he calls, I don't think he has a flush often. Or he has a small flush. But river, I get the straight. So now my plan was to check call. Because this is so aggressive player. But he checks behind and he had just 2 pairs. Queen 7. So on the turn I was right, and probably if this is something like 5 of clubs, I would bet and he just have to fold his 2 pairs. I hope the stream is working. I have no idea. I'm just playing. What table is Meriones? It's here. Table 4. Bad, 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 bad. Oh, I'm going to close this one. It's too bad for playing. There's no money on this table. And Kauris is complaining about the stream again. I have no idea. I trust that Arnimetsa is going to make it work. I can hear Arni Metsä's beautiful voice. I suppose you can too. On table 3, interesting that this Finnish guy doesn't see bet, but I don't know. 30 and 5 is type of player that I'm not going to bluff him. And on table 1, turn is bad for my opponent range in my perspective, but gives me 2 pairs, so I'm going to draw a free river, and 1 out of 10 times I hit the full house. Not this time, but I have the straight, so it's an interesting spot when he bets, because his river aggression is 100, also it's only 4 hands, but when I check the turn, I often don't have the flush. So I think I often have to call this. And it's only a half a pot bet, and he have the nuts now, so yeah, but he gives me such a cheap price on the river. I hope that for the next week we will have a working stream somehow. Not much going on the tables. If you have questions about any hand, just let me know. I'm going to give green colors to these PLO50 guys. So if you have comments about hand, please say what table it was. 1, 2 on the up, 3, 4 on the bottom, and then what was my hand. So when I'm opening the replayer, I can see the hand. I can't remember, we have the delay. On the outside table, we have a flip. He opened, I call on the flop, I check raise. I have a pretty nutty draw, but yeah, I can say I'm almost flipping. Let's see the percentage. And I picked up both spots, which is great. And we had 45 on the flop, so yeah, that happens. I'm going to continue on here on table 4, because Sierra came to the table and he's VPIP 48. So I'm going to see what it turns out. And Richard, we have position on him. He has made some pretty stupid plays so often. If neither one of these calls, I'm going to shove against this German guy, because previously he shoved 10-8-3-3 when he 3-bet. So if he has aces or kings, so be it. But often we are flipping against his range or ahead. And when he thinks he probably doesn't have aces, but he should go all in with all his range. He has half of his stack in, and he has aces, and he slow rolled me. What a need. I hope the straight comes on the river. Wow. Well, he's playing 3 tables. And it kind of sucks that he has 3-bet pretty much any 4 cards so far, and now he wakes up with aces, but it's enough that we are ahead of his range. So that is enough, and sometimes he has aces, of course. If Arnmetsä is listening, you can mute your microphone, because we can hear what you are talking in there. So if you have some family secrets and you don't want the whole world to hear you, you can mute the microphone. Of course, you don't have to. We are listening. I remember once on the other side's coaching, there was this coach. It's not actually funny, it's a sad story. But in the middle of coaching, he said that he has to have a break. And he left and he went to argue with his girlfriend or wife, but he left his microphone open. So for the 15 minutes, the whole world could hear they're fighting. And first it was kind of funny that they're fighting, but actually it's not fun to hear someone fighting on the microphone when they don't know you're listening. Interesting situation here on table 4. I think we can argue about betting the turn to protect our hand, but then again, we are losing to a lot of hands that call us. And I'm just going to fold when someone bets into 3 people. Okay, we can have the break almost any time because I have something going on all the time. But for me, we can have the break at any time. Okay? Okay, welcome back. Outside table, we actually opened pre-flop. This guy limp calls. Limp call range has a lot of pocket pairs, but I don't think he would limp kings. And now he probably has a draw or trip kings, so I'm betting turn, and if he shoves, I'm going to call, because he shouldn't have king 6 in his range a lot. He often has a king. And now when he calls, I think we can bet for value. And if he raises, I have to fold, but I don't think he's going to raise trips. He might call me with Jack 10, he might call me with Ace King. King 9 is the hand that we are losing to, and that's the only hand I'm afraid of here. And he calls and we win a nice pot. On table 4, this guy has aces always. This guy has pretty much any 4. So I've invested $6 or $7. I don't want to flip, so I'm going to fold. If I knew that this guy has aces, I would have called, but now he shoves ace, king, 7, 6. This is one of the most stupid shoves ever in my mind. Because, I mean, come on, he's flipping against random 4 cards. 1630. Why would he want to gamble with his stack with a hand that is never ahead of any range? But this is why with money bill, this is so stupid shove. Like, he calls, and now there are 2 players calling a 3-bet. So probably we have a hand that have a lot of equity against 4-bet. So when he makes this 4-bet, what he creates is a big 4-way pot, and his hand is never ahead of anything. So this raise is super, super, super bad. He might be a Texas Hold'em player that thinks that ace king double suited is a monster hand, but in PLO it's pure garbage. So is it possible I don't see what Kyyberi says? Snockity, you have to put your earphones on. I suppose most of you can hear what I say because no one has complained. Or then just everyone is just happy because finally he's quiet. Wow. We thought potted the river with second nuts. Well, that's how you lose money in PLO. You create a situation where only better hands call you and all the worse hands fold. Table 3, we have a situation. I don't like to 3-bet with pocket kings, so I just draw and see what the flop comes. We have the nut flush draw, which is great. Let's see what happens. And he bets $2. It's pretty easy call. Now we have the trips. I suppose that if he's a good player, he's going to barrel the turn often. And we have the hand pretty much locked. And I'm going to bet the river to represent the missed flush draw. So if he has ace, he's going to call me pretty much always. And he folds. Too bad. So he probably didn't have an ace, or he didn't realize that I might be bluffing. On table 1, I think I would have bet the c-bet the flop, but this guy don't bet so small that I'm just going to call and see how the hand goes on. And turn and river are not good for me, so I'm just giving up. I might have bluffed the river, but well, he had a queen high flush and he didn't bet it. Wow. Talking about passive. Kauris has seen my hand after the flop. Well, for you. And now smack up raises again, which is great. He makes a pot size raise, so we can play our aces in plus EV way. We can get half of our stack in, so now there's so much money that we're going to shove any flop. We make the decision now, so no matter what the flop is, we are going in. And he folds. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. These guys never stop amazing me. And now he thinks he has a hand that can cold call 3-bet, but now he doesn't know what to do when I 4-bet. He shouldn't have arranged. He shouldn't have aces, so he should have a hand that calls me. And flop is not that good, but we have $27 behind and the pot is 52, so we are getting it in and just hope he doesn't have 2 pairs. And he has an open ender that just doesn't get there. He had quite many outs on the turn. On the flop, he had 56, so we were flipping. But that's why you don't fold even the scary boards, because opponents often have pretty wide range. I'm just going to bet here on the river because he has called 2 streets. Either he has a misdraw that he folds, or he has aces or worse tens. So if the join me creates problems, I don't know I'm talking to Arni Metsä, is TeamViewer an option? Because I think it has better quality than JoinMe, or it has better or more consistent quality. Video and audio are out of sync. Okay. More problems. Woo. How can they be out of sync? Then before we have a decent hand. Let's see the flop. I don't like the 3-bet. We are 200 pp's deep. So Kauris has real life delay. That happens when you watch the coaching when you're drunk. God, I'm funny today. Oh, this is sort of nasty spot because if I raise, unless I hit ace, king, or ace, it's going to be a pretty sucky situation on turn and river. So I'm just going to call here and see if I can improve my hand. And unless I improve my hand, I'm just going to keep the pot small. Of course, I'm going to call the turn always. And well, the bad thing is that I actually lose to 10-8, which he might have, and he bets really big on the river. The way I played the hand, it's unlikely that I have the trips. But can he bluff the river? Oh, the draws pretty much miss that if he has on the turn. I'm going to call. And he had a jack 9. So yeah, makes sense. I think he would make that bet with the bluff or even with the worst jack, but he had the nuts this time, pretty much. So of course he's going to bet it. The thing is that he's 52-21 with some post-flop aggression, so he can definitely bluff. If he's like 52 and 10 or that type of player, I would have just folded the river. Well, more still situations. Bottom set in really, really nasty board. I'm just going to get in. Yeah, can we check one hand before that? Because he hit it in with top 2 on this board, and wow. When he insta-raised me, I really thought that he has a straight and we have 35%. But the thing is that he's betting half a pot, so unlikely he has a straight. He might have like overpair with flush draw or something like that. And I don't just like to call and give such a great odds. Because the problem is that if the flush comes, someone bets with call and the board pairs, it's hard to get a lot of value. And he's a Finnish half a pot. If he has like aces with the flush draw, he's going to call me always. But now he insta shoves, so for a second I was worried, but when I saw his hand, it's like, come on, you have 4 outs. Or Jack is, of course, he's out, so he had 8 outs. But wow, 300 pp pot. So yes, we are going to change to TeamViewer, right? Okay. Woo, great. I hope everyone. Blah, blah. My mouth is slippery. I hope everyone can see me. So just post it to the chat if there are some problems. We have we had first plan B, then we had plan C. Now we are having plan D from outer space. So let's see how this plan is working. Nothing that interesting happened during the break. We won some bots and lost some bots. Nothing too big or super interesting. And table 2, the river sucks. We have 3 pairs, should win a hand with that, and he bets again. It completes straight draws, it completes flush draws, so I'm just going to fold. And finally, Arimetsa has muted his microphone. Great. So far during the technical issues we have actually won some money. We have close to 300 BBs on 2 tables. One of the outside tables has 139. So it's going pretty good so far. So at first the table seemed bad, but we have found some green players along the road. Here the Finnish guy 3 bets with wide range, and of course we're going to call. And when we sort of miss the flop, we just give up the pot. We don't have to fight out of position because we are going to flop often enough, good enough. On table 1, this fish player, or call happy, which is better wording. He calls us on the flop, and the river completes a lot of stuff. So hard to imagine a hand for him that we can beat, so we are happy to just fold the river. Here we have a green player. Here we have a green player. So we have been able to find some green players. And table 2, we have double paired hand with suited ace. I'm going to 3-bet it every time. And on table 4, the opponent makes our life easier. We can shove aces pre-flop. And on table 2, we actually flop the nuts. Nice to say it again. On turn, we have nothing. He has flush draw so often, so now we just see if he gives us the odds. And he does, so we call and we miss the river. And on table 4, we get the money in pretty good shape. We hold up. Here on table 4, he has Wow, I'm going to level myself into calling here because he bet the turn so small that like he wanted to save some ammunition to the river. Because if he thinks I have aces, why wouldn't he shove the turn? But now when I call, he has some 5-high flush, but his line is so suspicious. Ugh. Oh, he had the missed straight draw, so my intuition was right this time. It's just when you have a lot of missed river calls, you start to question yourself, but now trusting the instincts paid off. So actually, we were lucky that we were only 100 BPs deep, because if we had a deeper stacks, he could have bet more on the river, and I think his line here, bet turn, bet river, is decent. I can understand the thinking process behind it, but when I 3-bet, I have so many aces in my range, especially when I bet the flop. So when I call the turn, well, I don't know. If I were him, I would probably check the turn behind. He has so many outs. And we have min raise on table 1. Oh dear. I'm going to fold to a min raise. It's going to be so often the nuts. On the outside table, we have a flip. We had middle set versus the top set. Wow. That happens. And he has the quads, and all we need is a 9 on the river to put salt in our wounds. But yeah, his range is a lot more wider than just the top set. He's 75 and 8. So he has as many bottom sets as top sets. And he has some overpairs, 2 pairs. So our stack off there is pretty standard. And this time he had the absolute top of his range, and we lost $20. But it happens. Here on the outside table, we open, we bet the flop, and this record check raises us on the turn. He thought quite a bit before check raising, and we bet big on the turn. I think actually that when he takes that long to think, he has the jack often. If he had some sort of combo draw, I think he might raise us quicker. And if he has a combo draw, he often has ace-high flush draw with it. So we are actually not in a good shape in any spot. So I'm just going to fold this. Although this guy can definitely raise with wide range. Here on table 4, if he has aces, we are actually probably ahead unless he has the flush draw, because we have double cutter and a pair and a flush draw. So I'm just going to put it in. And we are actually in a pretty good shape. But the river kills us. We had 51 there on the flop, so it's one of those flips. Can't win every pot. here, oh dear, it's people playing 8-6-3-3 and they hit the set on the flop with the short stack. Well, not much you can do about those. And he happened to hit the quads on the turn also, so. Well, maybe it's good that we are having those miracle hits for opponents when they are short stacked. Number one, I bet for value against all kind of flush draws and other stuff. And if someone has a king, then they have, but I don't want to give a free river card. Here's a green player. Sunday is a green player so far. Let's see what happens on the tables. We might have a hand going on the outside table. I'm bringing it over here. And we have another. I'm going to bring this one here because we can get a pre-flop ball in with Cyber Sky. And here, oh, he just calls. Well, never mind. He has less than a pot behind, and he has quite many outs on the turn. At least we win half of the pot. Here on outside, well, I'm going to barrel the turn. He has a lot of king queens or some weak hands that he can call me with line. If he raises, he has straight pretty much always. So I can see with the pot odds that do I have the odds to call. Often I thought today on private coaching about the situation that the student said that it's a tough spot for him. It's a situation where he had pocket aces and the flop was ace, king, queen, or something like that with a flush draw. So he see that an opponent raised him, and I said that it's not a hard spot. That's an easy spot because every time your opponent reveals his hand, like when he raises there on ace, king, queen board, he probably has jack 10 straight always. Or like in the last hand, was it this one? Yeah, if he raises me on the turn, he has the straight pretty much always. So every time the opponent reveals his range, it gives us an opportunity to make perfect decisions. And every time we can make perfect decisions, it's going to be a good spot for us. If he raises big enough to force us to fold, then be it. He made a bad play, he didn't get any value. If he raises small enough for us to justify call, he made a mistake. So even if it sucks, we have the top set and opponent raise is going to be a big board. If the opponent tells us his range, it's going to be a great spot for us. Like Phil Calfon said, there are no bad or good turn or river cards. There are only cards, and each card gives us an opportunity to make good decisions. So in that spot, we have a great spot to make good decisions, and that's all that matters. Wow. Now here's a hand that I I just don't understand what these guys are thinking about. Well, he's opening, yeah, I understand that. On this flop, he makes a big C bet. He has pocket nines, so if you missed what he has pocket nines. So on this board, he has pretty much nothing. So he bets really big, and when he calls, he is beat always. Turn is a jack, he has 9-9 jack, so now he's making another big bet, and the shorty shoves. And he has, well, he had a flush draw on the turn, so yeah, I figure out that he can stack off. But I don't know what these other guys are thinking. Like, what is he thinking? He calls the flop and then raises turn. Why not shove the flop when he has folding equity? Why wait until the turn? Because now on the flop he would have been ahead, now he's behind. But river is then and he wins the pot. But like, why do you wait? If you're going to stack off with your top pair, top kicker, why wait to the turn? Why not shove the flop? Here on table of 3, we actually get a straight on the turn, and if Luckbox raises us, I'm going to shove. And now, how to make most money on the river. A lot of his hand is a weak 2 pairs, missed flush draw. If he has ace queen, I'm really surprised if he played it that way. So the most value comes if we can induce him to do something. So I'm going to make a small blocker bet. And maybe I can induce him to bluff me. Or he makes a light counter. But he shouldn't have a strong hand. I can't bet big here. Because, well, if he has a set, he might bluff catch me on the river. But he probably shouldn't, not sure. He might. But if his range is wider, as I think it is, we can make him to make a mistake. At least we got him thinking. It's always good when the regular has to think and wonder what the hell is he doing. The more your opponent has to guess, the better it is for you. The more you make money. But he folded. Too bad. Kauris has some issues with his eyes. I told you, don't watch the coaching when you're drunk. You have to stop it. This guy is a green. We have a quite nice table 4. Out of the Sunday, his VPIP is 39. I'm going to wait a few more hands to see what his VPIP, if it goes up or down. If it goes down, I'll remove the green color. If it goes up, I keep it. But normally it's around VPIP 50 that I consider green. table 1, I would open pretty much any 4 card when we have 2 tighter players on the blind. We often win the pot, and if we don't, we can c-bet the flop. Oh, I should have c-bet $2. But I would continue here often without the flush. So when I have the flush, I'm going to continue, and he calls. So now he has bluff catcher or smaller flush. And with king high flush, he will raise me. With jack high, 10 high, he will call me. I think it's a decent spot actually to bet, because if he calls the turn with the straight, he's often going to call the river. And when he calls with the straight here, he's going to go mad on himself. I can make a blocker bet. Yeah, Alan is right. I was in position. It was meant to be blocker bet, but yeah, I was in position, so I can do it. So you're right. So I changed the term. Instead of block bet, we make well, I don't know what to call it. I know what is in Finnish, and I know what I would call it in English, but it might offend someone. So let's say that small bet is just an inducement. If we were out of position, I think the blocker bet would be fine. So in position, I made a mistake there because I didn't think. I'm in position. When he checks the river, I know he doesn't have a straight ever. So I would, if I had a missed flush draw, I think I would have bet the river anyway. So I would have bet, the pot is 16, I should have bet like 12.50. And, or how much the pot was on the river. Good spotting for Callan. I made a mistake. Yeah, the pot is 16. I should have paid like in 13 or 12.50 to represent I have a bluff on the river, so he might bluff catch me. When I bet small, it's so suspicious, especially in position. So yeah, it's a mistake, and we might have lost some value there. So welcome, Callan. Let's see if you can spot more mistakes. Like I have said, even coaches make mistakes. We are not robots. And especially when you're, like I'm playing 6 tables, normally it's not a problem, but at the same time, I'm talking about all the stuff that is poker-related or not poker-related, or the situation. It's a lot more difficult to play when you're talking. You can try it, make a video. So I'm going to make mistakes, I know it. But it's great if we can see them, so we can all learn. Here on table 3, guy comes table with short stack, phone, mobile player, subs first hand. I have ace in my hand, so I'm getting in. If he has aces, then beat. Good for him. And he has ace king 9, 10. We are in good shape, and let's see if we actually have the hand won on the turn. So, yay. I probably, if I didn't have the ace, I would have gone all in anyway. On table 3, this guy is sort of aggressive. I'm going to 3-bet him, and let's see if someone makes my life easier. And I still have the position. So if they call, it's not going to be the end of the world. We have pretty nice hand here on table 4. Let's see if we can get any value. Oh, we can. Woo. And he donks on the turn. Wow, if he has aces, this is going to be nasty. Well, we have 2 outs. He folds them. And now he donks me with the big bet size. I have the nut flush blocker, but if he has any 2 pair, he's not going to fold. I only wish I had the nut flush here, but I don't. When he has 36 behind, there's not much folding equity, so I am not going to bluff him. So I just fold. He's such an aggressive player that he might make that donk with wider range. But if I have aces, I have the ace of diamonds half of the time in my hand. So I might often make moves on him. And here on table 1, I fold Jack, Jack, 8, 7, because there's double cap in the middle and pocket pair. It's not going to be a easy hand to play in 3-bet pot out of position. If it was Jack, Jack, 9, 10, I would have called. But with double capper, I just folded. On table 4, we have this TY2U spastic guy. Some of our members said that he's really spewy. Now he's making 3 or 4 bets or something else. Let's see what he has this time. Oh, he has queens and he oh man, and he actually wins $123 by playing queens. With that way, he was 39 on the flop. Wow. That's why he's so spewy. He has pocket queens, he calls, and then bam, he 4-bets when this guy 3-bets. Now they are 150 BPs deep almost. This is a suicide. And I just don't understand. I don't understand his 3-bet anymore. So they are doing some pretty stupid stuff. Now I'm going to call once here. We have 4 outs to full house. And I don't think he's going to barrel with. But if he folds, I'm going to call his shove because we have the straight. Oh, $80. I'm out. And he has the ace queen, and he has the queen. We would have been drawing dead. So, as I said, if he shoves, we are behind his range, but we were ahead of his raising range. Because he's a shorty. So, quite happy we analyzed the situation pretty much perfectly and made the absolute right decision. Jack, Jack, 8, 7. Why did I isolate the fish with smaller bet sizing? I think it's my standard sizing. Like here in cutoff, I open 3 BBs always. Of course, when there's limper, I could open more, but I don't think these guys' range changes if I bet 175 or 150. So I think 150 is enough. And on table 2, I 3-bet again. I just hope that this guy spaz out at some point. Like he's starting to think that, oh man, now stop 3-betting, I 4-bet you. He's pretty aggressive. He might be offended that I 3-bet him a lot. But the problem is that I often call and he wins the pots. So now I'm going to check behind and he knows I don't have a strong hand. I could make a blocker bluff on him, which I'm going to do. We still have $55 behind. If he calls, he's going to have a pretty much behind him. And I'm looking really strong here. Of course, he might be just a recreational player that he has a flush, he's never folded, but now he did fold. So it worked out. Because when I raise here, my range is really strong. Here on table 4, the boys are getting it in. Oh, they are not. Oh, he's playing 5 tables. On table 3, I'm going to check call the river. Of course, 5-7 gets there, but he has a lot of missed flush draws also in his range. When he didn't bet the flop, he probably hasn't locked from the pot, but he has queen jack. Funny that he didn't see bet when he had the top pair. He has played 72 hands. He has never folded to c-bet. Can't get the sample size. So I'm not going to. I shouldn't even know. Well, my hand has some potential, so I should open this hand, but I shouldn't open any trashy hand versus him. I just wonder why I can't get the sample size in here. Oh, only one c-bet. Strange. Table 4 is really interesting. This TY2U is raising again. Walter Powell is just sticking alone, and everyone is creating a big pots. Wow. The problem is that we are 300 BB deep with this guy, and I don't like to flip. Damn. Should I leave the table 200? We are so deep that if I stick and stay in the table, I should be winning to get my 250 BPs pre-flop all in with this guy, 5 aces or not some, and I just don't like. And they are so aggressive that we are not going to see that many flops cheaply, so I'm probably going to sit out from this table. Because now the amount of money is so big compared to our bankroll that it's just taking a huge risk. And once again, well, actually now, if he bets, I'm going to shove. We have 2 backdoor flush draws and some others. But he pots it. We need around 40%, and if he has 2 pairs, we have less than that. And he bets into 2 people, so when he pots, his range is a little bit stronger than his. I'm going to check call here on table 4, although I don't have any information on my opponent, but He has a lot of missed draws in his range, and this is the only way to get value. And if he has the backdoor straight, then be it. Then it just sucks. And he doesn't have. Has to check for a while that he has so many outs that I wasn't sure, but yeah, we'll get the maximum value out of him, which is always great. If we would have bet, he would have just folded. On table 4, we have the 10 blockers, so I'm really happy to raise here. And let's see if he finds the call button. If he raises, it would be a really, really sick spot, but I think I have to. Oh dear. I don't even know. I have 2 blockers, but oh, he makes a small raise. I'm going to call it all the time. And he had a jack blockers. Oh, he should have bet bigger if he wants to make a blocker bet. Pretty much what I'm raising here are pretty much the straights. So if he wants me to fold a smaller straight, he needs to raise bigger. But yeah, we won 100 BBs. Yay! And we have around half an hour to go. I'm going to leave because these two are not that spazzy and this is not a complete idiot. And all the green players are sitting out, so I am just going to get out of the way. Table 3. We have a hand. Let's see. Yeah, one of the outside tables has turned bad. So I'm going to see if we can find some decent. Oh, there are some good tables. And to open this table, well, we can put it in here. Oh, where did it go? Okay. We didn't get the spot on that table. What happens here? Top dog makes a code 3-bet. I'm going to get it in. If I just call, I create a really nasty. I have to get it in on almost all the flops. So I'm going to shove and hope someone comes along when we have a 3-way pot. I have the ace blocker and he can definitely 3-bet more. But when he 3-bets into 3 people, he might have aces open. But I have the ace blocker and double suited kings. And he, wow, with 100 BP stacks, he makes a cold 3-bet and folds. He probably had some sort of ace queen queen, ace king king type of hand himself too, because can't see any other hands folding there. Wow, that was a surprise. So these guys amaze me. I have 5 tables open, but only 4 on my screen. Not there. Ooh, there's 1 table. It was hiding. And Sierra 3-bets me. He has 3-bet in position ace queen 4-3. We have the ace blocker again. He's a shorty, so let's just get it in. It's not a double suited this time, but he has 3-bet a lot of trashy hands also. His 3-bet is 12. And we have the ace blocker again. So, and now when he thinks he probably doesn't have aces, because he would have shoved it. And kaboom. Get it in and see if he has. We have 2 pairs, so probably we are ahead always. And he called. Oh, he had a flush draw and a cut shot. Well, we are lucky ones to win. We are definitely running over EV today. We have won a lot of these hands where we are small favorites. I think we have lost 1 or 2 flips, but anything else, it has come home or came home. How do you say it? I don't know. But it's going pretty well today. I can see Arni Metsä saying in a couple of minutes that PLO looks so easy. But when you happen to hit the hand, it is quite easy. But overall today, I think I've made some decent reads on the situations. Some of them have paid off and some of them haven't, but mostly I'm quite happy that I have been able to make the right reads and right thinking on the spots. In table 3, we have double suited pair and rundown and all kind of stuff. I like to call in position with these hands. Out of position, they create problems because the flush draws are so small. And every time when you are drawing to a small flush out of position, it's going to be pretty painful. But in position, you get a lot more value. I have to remind everyone that on next Saturday we have the Poker Mania meeting at the Riihimäki, Finland. So if you are in Finland, feel free to join. If you are not in Finland yet, feel free to come here and go to Poker Mania. I can guarantee that if you come to Finland from some other country, I will pick you in the airport and drive you to Riihimäki and back. So if you are living in Sweden or somewhere else and would like to join, just come to Helsinki and we have the limousine for you. I bought a new car yesterday. Well, it's not quite limousine, but close. Now this is the annoying quiet moment, but there's nothing going on. Looking on the table 4, that does lockbox actually have aces. Well, now when this green calls, it's interesting to see what happens on the turn. He should bet with his whole range if he has a value hand. Number 1, I'm going to actually raise my 2 pairs. Because if he shoves, he probably has 6-7. So we don't lose anymore. But if I just call, he might barrel on the turn. And I'm just going to, if he folds his hands on the flop, my two pairs is so small that it's going to be a good outcome for me if I win the pot on the flop. And he didn't have queens. I don't like his 3-bet pre-flop. Why does he want to, like, this is, well, he's regular, and now he says the opponent is brainless idiot. Come on. In a small blind, he has what he had, king, king, queen, jack or something. Great hand to just call, see the flop, check raise the flop if you hit, check call and do whatever you want. He has a great hand. Now when he 3-bets and he doesn't even have the ace in his hand, there's going to be so many flops that when the ace comes on the flop, it's not going to be a good spot for him. Because he has to bluff there and he has to carry on the turn like we just see. With pocket kings, just go, don't 3-bet, out of position. If he was on the button, I think 3-betting is better. But now everyone is putting him on aces, and actually when he has pocket kings, they are going to play pretty well against his hand. Like now, he has nothing, he has to c-bet. Opponent calls over a pot size left. Well, he has to bet the turn. Opponent calls. What now? You just invested $30 with a bluff. So, yeah. And he had a ace 5 4-8. So, yeah. And now he's complaining to opponent. Come on. He played it bad. Not the opponent. When you make a mistake, don't blame your opponent. Table 3, I'm going to make a small raise. And we just hope that opponent shoves. Like we have the nuts with blockers, so he probably has a set. So just hit it in. He shows the same hand, so we are splitting the pot. And on table 2, if he would have bet, I would have called. But now we split the pot. Oh, he had a full house and he slow played on me. Naughty boy. What a lucky turn card. But there's no way I'm going to fold here. Because flop goes check, check, I bet small on the turn. He calls, he might have a king often here. Or he might have a flush. And ace high and queen high flushes beat me. But he might have a smaller flush. And when I check the river, he might turn his trips into a bluff. He might value bet smaller bluff. So his range is definitely wider than ace high or queen high flush. And if he has a full house, then he has it. But this time he had the pocket sevens. Alfred has VPIP 55, so he is our friend. Chipinitos donks 44% of the time, so I'm going to raise. And when I raise against two people, it looks really, really strong. I think he has overpair often. Of course, he has trips. And now when he calls, he probably has the 3 or pocket nines. But I pick up some equity on the turn, so I'm happy to see the river. And we missed the river, so he probably shows us overpair or trips at least. And if he calls the flop raise, he's going to call turn and river so often. And he has the queens. I think that call is... I don't like it. When I raise against two people, my range is really strong. So I don't know if he's going to call turn and river bets, but he just didn't believe me. Of course, it's possible that he's a good player and he realized the situation. Like he knows he donks a lot, so he doesn't believe me. But still, he's investing a lot of money with sort of bad bluff catcher. He calls the flop. If he has a flush draw, I have him beat in pretty much every possible situation. If he has an ace, he's not going to fold it, and if he has a straight, he's going to check raise me. So when he checks, I'm going to check behind and get a free river card. Unless he times out if he times out, I'm going to make a small mini bet. I don't know if he sit out or not, but in case he did sit out, I would have won the ball. Now I just check and he shows me king high. Dude, he had 3% on the flop. Wow. If my webcam would be on, I'm sure I would have a pretty funny face. He called my flop C bet with, oh dear. On table 2 we have aces against kings and we both flop the set. Ha. Almost said that he hit his set, but we hit it too, so everything is good. Here, I don't understand this call. He still folds average of 40% to C bet, so why in the world is he calling here? Wow. Again, he donks a lot, so I'm going to bluff catch him for a while. And he bets small, probably not a straight, it's a flush draw often, so I'm going to bet and get value, but now the flush comes there, so we have to check, and he had the king high flush. He was actually here 2 pairs on the turn, so he was ahead of us. But yeah, he's donking a lot. But with those flop calls, he's going to give a lot of money to us. So we just wait until we hit the flop. Oh, it's 10 to 11, so we are going to end the session soon. Let's see a few more hands if we can get an interesting spot. And we flop pretty nice super draw on table 4. It's often said that we flop the world because we have pretty much everything, and our hand actually improves on the turn. And now, how to get value? He's aggressive. Now we are out of position, so we can make the blocker bet. Let's see if he spaz out and raises. We have on this. I remembered we had over $100 stack, so yeah, maybe I should have bet bigger. I remember that this was the earlier table and we have so much in the stack that he can make a really big raise, but yeah. Well, even then the blocker bet might be a good one. Table 1, we split the pot. So this is the same guy as in Table 2. We are splitting a lot of pots with him. I'm going to play 1.5 orbits on this Table 1 and then we close the session. Table 4, it was pretty standard c-bet fold. Interesting turn on Table 2. I think I'm just going to check fold. Because if I had a straight, I would check call and he knows it, so. When he bets, he probably has the backdoor flush. Of course, he might bet. If he has total air, he's going to just bet the river anyway, but there's going to be so much hands that beat me. And we have made some pretty light river calls against him in the past 20 minutes or so. So I don't think he's going to bluff the river that often. Oh man, this guy is going crazy. They get the money in on the turn. He had a king high flush, he had an ace high flush, and he spikes the 2-outer on the river. Now he's laughing and this guy is going crazy. Now he's thinking, oh, he's going to explode. It's so funny. And this guy is just adding salt to the wounds. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing, but well, he started calling other players idiots when he made a really bad play himself. So I think this little bragging is just justified. On Table 2, we've gone to 3-bet, but we missed the flop completely. And we might make moves, but we have a shorty here, so not much room to make moves. But the queen is such a card that I'm actually going to bet for value. Oh, we win the pot, so that works out too. Oh, this guy he's going nuts. I bet he's yelling at his house, and now this guy is super happy. This is so. If this was live table on casino, I think he would attack this man and they would be thrown out. Oh, what a bad river card. Ugh. Ugh. I think I have to call if he bets because he has a missed flush draws. But luckily he checks. He's not so chatty anymore. Wow. Oh, this guy had 13% on the turn. It's nice that these suckouts happened to someone else. This guy had open ender versus 2 pairs, and he's even blocking his open ender. And he had a flush draw, so this guy had, what, 5 outs. and he gets one on the river. PLO can be a cruel game sometimes. So we are sitting out on the tables. I'm going to find my poker tracker soon, and we can see what is the results of tonight. I have a feeling that we are making a positive outcome because we haven't really lost that many big pots. But it wouldn't be the first time. Now you still have some time to guess or estimate what's the result. EMR 52 and 4, definitely a green player. This guy 3-bets such a crap that I'm going to give him a yellow color. Well, actually, I'm going to give him a green because he has VPIP 79. He limps, doesn't fold the c-bet. Yeah, he's aggressive, but he's a green. I really want to play with this guy. So the yellow color means that it's just an aggressive player, something that I favor green players over the yellow ones. So that's why I'm giving him the green color. Because if he's on the table, I want to be on that table. But if there's one yellow on the table, it doesn't mean necessarily that I want to be there. Oh, that's the session. That's the poker tracker. Oh, it's my PLO5 crap earlier today. Well, I can show it to you because it's decent. Decent 1 hour of watching NFL films and playing PLO Zoom with decent 73 BB's win rate. So I'm going to find here PLO50. We didn't play anything else. So today's results are we are definitely running hot today. Well, even our estimated winnings is 23 BPs per 100 hands, so probably running either hot today, but the flips came in today. Here's the graph. So even the orange graph is pretty nice. First down, but then slowly climbing up, and here we are just running super hot. Wow. We won $75 when we are flipping, yeah. Well, have to be happy. 260, what was it? 67.59, so nice winnings. PLO is sometimes easy. You just smash the buttons and smile on your way to the bank. That's for me. 2 hours of PLO fun. On Friday, we are having the Finnish PLO night. Feel free to join. Even if you don't understand Finnish, you can watch the stream, ask your questions. And on Saturday, we all meet in Riihimäki. And for those who can't come there, we are probably going to have some sort of stream. I have my heads up table with me. So let's see if someone dares to play PLO heads up with me. We can stream that one with Arni Metsä commenting. Who knows? But for now, have a good night and See you on Friday. Thanks and bye bye. I don't know if Arnimetsa is going to give you some sort of intro or outro or whatever it was. Not sure. But I'm going to go to sleep now. Bye bye.